Soul, and hello! Welcome to another speed build. Today we're building a little medieval peasant home in the French countryside. That was the inspiration from the image that I saw that becomes the basis for this house. It's in Moonwood Mill, which is essentially France in my playthrough for the 100 Years' War. And, it's on my favorite kind of lot, a teeny tiny one. It's in the 20 by 20 lot in Moonwood Mill, and I don't know about any of you, but I've always been somebody who just loves small, teeny, tiny lots. It's always where I naturally go to. I feel like we don't have enough 20 by 15 lots in the game. A lot of people, I'm sure, disagree with me, but that's my preferred place to play, I just like feeling a bit hugged in by the building, just a bit hugged in. Sorry if you can hear the construction. It's that apartment life, you know what I mean? But these Sims are from my Ultimate Decades Challenge playthrough, and they've recently run away after their parents told them they couldn't be together. Oh no. And so they've stowed away on a ship to come to France, which of course the English are at war with currently in the playthrough because it's the 100 Years' War, but that's the choice that they've made. And they took as much money as they could. One of the aunts that they have gave them a bit of money. The male Sim ended up being able to take some of his money, and the female Sim had some money that she'd earned through work and through, living that boss life, but they don't have very much money. And in addition to that, lately I've been having this bizarre moment where what I want to do is have a non-CC build. I really have. I have been trying so hard, but the issue I always end up coming up against is when it comes to the fireplace/stove, because I don't think there are very many good in-game options. And so I can never bring myself to give up the CC ovens. I just can't do it. It's impossible for me. I can't. I've tried, okay, but it just doesn't work. So maybe in the future they'll actually give us a fireplace or something that looks like a fireplace that also works like a stove, or a really old-fashioned stove. There is that one, I guess, from, I don't know what pack it is. It's the one that has the logs underneath that looks a bit oldie-worldy. That oven could have worked, but it's dead expensive. And these Sims, I think, only started with 10,000, and the point is that they don't have money. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have money, so they can't afford a stove like that. So the CC one we'll have to do instead. I'm going around and just putting in some decor, but really this is a pretty easy, pretty chill speed build. No historical stuff sort of encouraging it. Just, they're poor. They've got a poor little home, but it's going to be okay because it's rich with love. You know what I mean? It's rich with love for them. They're in love with each other, and that's beautiful. Oh, man, I'm sure watching me deal with those tapestries is kind of annoying. It's because I used to have a computer that had the number lock pad on the side, and you can use that to switch through swatches, but my new computer does not have the number pad on the side, and I do have a USB one that I can attach, but I always forget. In case this is coming out before the patch, on Tuesday, the 22nd, they say it's going to be a pretty big patch if you haven't heard yet, so make sure that you back up your saves, make sure that you remove your mods. They say it's going to be a really big one, and the fact that they've announced that the patch is coming early probably means that it's going to be a big one. I think we should take them at their word on that, so just watch out, because I know a lot of Simmers have lost some pretty important save files over the past bit of time while a bunch of crazy stuff has been going on, and I know how frustrating that is. So just look out for your saves, look out for them and their health. We can't lose any more, One more save lost is one too many. You know, it's kind of frustrating because the path for Moonwood Mill that we can see there, that dirt one, it's so nice, but we don't have a matching texture, so what a bummer. And these Sims are basically running out of money, so we're going to use debug to sort of finish up the landscaping of their lot. I really like this like broken down fence because, you know, they're poor, and I imagine that some of the structure was already here and they've just sort of like improved it as they arrived. So we're just using that, and then of course the cottage living gardening patches. Can't live without those once you've got them, you know. Cottage living, that was the great pack, wasn't it? And then debug trees, because we're poor. We can't afford to have non-debug trees on this one. It's just not going to happen. So it's all debug landscaping. Wow, so beautiful, you know. There are so many great options in debug. I wish that they weren't hidden behind debug. But there you have it. That's just life. Sometimes things are hidden from you, and you've got to be a bit cheaty to get to them. But the issue with accessing debug, you can tell me if you've had a different experience, but for me, sometimes in some save files where I've used the cheat to access debug, not used Twisted Mexie's Better Build By mod, sometimes it never turns debug off once I've turned it on. I don't know if anybody else has had that experience. That was a few years ago now, but it did make me paranoid because in one save file I turned it on so that I could access the debug and live edit objects. And once I turned it on, it never turned off. That was just it in that save file. It was always there. And as you know, that's kind of overwhelming, not being able to hide it. So I don't know what happened in that save file. I deleted it in the end because I found it too overwhelming to have to play in, but yeah, it was weird. Anyways, this lot is becoming pretty overgrown because, I don't know, I just thought it looked nice. Also, it's free, so why wouldn't we? They don't have as much of a curved roof as, oh, just kidding. They do have a curved roof, and finally we get the opportunity to use that beautiful mossy roof from the Werewolves pack. I love that roof so much. It's just that typically in this time, people didn't have shingles. They had thatch, but I think I had to add a couple $100 just to be able to apply their roof texture, which to me was worth it. But other than that, this is their house, their little peasant starter home. It's got everything that you could possibly want. This is it from the outside. Wow, the shrubbery looks so good. That's just me tooting my own horn. We've got a little blacksmith station because, you know, everyone's got to work. And if we go in, we can see we've got a little bathroom set up over here. We've got some spandrels to separate it so that the Sims believe they're in a separate room, even though it's technically in the same room. And then over to the side, we've got kind of that kitchen setup, you know. We've got 2 counters, so not a lot, but enough, as well as a little sink and a larder, some baskets to store some things because everybody needs baskets, you know. Then over to this direction, what we've got is kind of the dining room, a little place to sit, everything you need for the babies. Oh, hey, Alice, what's up? What's up? She's checking on our kiddo. And then if we look in the other direction, we've got the beds. You know, we've got the bunk bed, we've got a toddler bed, the crib, and of course a bassinet with the parents' bed. So it's kind of everything that we could possibly need for these guys. But yeah, that's about it. I guess in case it matters, from the other side, we've got the little gardening patch because of course we're living off the land if we're playing Ultimate Decades, aren't we? So they've got a little gardening patch out there. But yeah, this is it. A simple starter home. I think it comes in at about 10,000 simoleons. You can find it on the gallery using the hashtag plumbobsdecades. Make sure to turn CC on. And it's one of a number of lots that I'm slowly introducing to the world. Ignore the mail carrier. She's not dressed time period appropriately. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this one. It's been a really quick one, but you know, there you have it. Here's a little home. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, everyone.